differential. It's totally doable, but I think if Pikes Peak really wants this to happen, they're going to have to stay out of the box, and they're going to have to get, stay out of the box. Skate clean. They're doing really well when they stay on the track, but if they can't skate, then they're not going to win. Sometimes it's just that easy. Camilla Blutzvilla, closing that gap by 5 points. She got a grand slam there. She held up her hand to the jam ref saying, hey, I know that was 5. Let me see that thumb. And I do see the thumb. It's official. She is about to be on her second scoring pass. Let's see where that brings us. She just needed a little bit of help there, and she is through. Pikes Peak doing a great job. Open the door for their jammer, shut the door on the Tucson, Arizona jammer. So that's a big 10 points. 10 points worth of closing the gap for Pikes Peak. Tent City Terrors are totally aware of what's happening out there on the track. They are trying to play defense like their lives depended on it. This game certainly does. And Camilla Blutzvilla, one more grand slam, making this a 15-point jam. I think this is the biggest jam in this game so far. Still not out of the pack is Sigmund Droid for the Tent City Terrors.
And why shouldn't she? She's got plenty of time.
She's working on it, but she just can't seem to get past that last blocker when she's up there by herself. Make that 20. 20 points for Camilla Blutzvilla. This seems like a super long jam. There we go, and that is it. That was a very needed jam for Pikes Peak.
Yes, definitely, no doubt about it, the highest scoring jam of this game. I can't think of one that was...
That was definitely the highest, the highest.
That was higher than the combined score of the first half almost.
It was. They just doubled their points. That was amazing. Pikes Peak definitely needed that. 47 Pikes Peak, 73 AZRD. I think they're back in the game. And once again, happening because they have all 4 blockers on the floor. Camilla Blutzvilla is an amazing jammer, but I don't think she could have done that all by herself.
Yeah.
Texas Tornado really wanted to take down that jammer. She really went for it. And we have one more lead jammer nod for Pikes Peak.
Pikes Peak really applying themselves defensively.
Yep. And it looks like they're going to have one blocker sitting in the box. And a wall of green in the back. Russian Bride can't score on her own players. And the TCT is doing a really good job of staying there up front there, keeping it quick. Whip from her teammate. She's going to have to call off the jam. Picking up 2 points for Pikes Peak. Call off the jam before Gratuitous Violet could score any points. So they're going to close that gap a little bit more. 49 Pikes Peak, 73 AZRD.
D's Nuts taking the line for Tent City Terror.
Who's Nuts?
D's Nuts. I keep calling them Tent City Terror. It's like I'm using Yoda punctuation or something,
Terrors of Tent Cities.
Yes, exactly. That's awesome.
Yeah, there's more than one of them. They are the Terrors. And D's Nuts right up the inside, but she is not going to be a lead jammer. Camilla Blutzvilla yet again. I want to know, if I was taking notes, I could have figured this out myself, but I would be curious to know how many times when she jams she gets lead. It seems like just about every time she's out there, she's lead. Unfortunately for her, her blockers are all going to be warming up that penalty box right now. She only has one blocker helping her out right now, and that's not enough to pick up 4. She'll take 1 and have to call off the jam before Tent City scores.
Absolutely. It is shrinking like the waistline of somebody taking Herbalife.
I just heard a Herbalife joke.
That was pretty good. Jeff Mann, yes.
Yeah, he says funny things. I like him. I guess I haven't had enough liquid funny today. I think between this game and the next one I call, the championship game at 5 o'clock, I'm going to have a cup of Liquid Funny.
Yeah. I suggest it.
And Bitter End is not your lead jammer for Arizona, but she is out of that pack. Fractured Fairy Tale jamming for Pikes Peak, trying real hard to make her way through that 3-wall of pink in the front. And ultimately, it looks like not going to be successful. And that is going to be 4 points for the Bitter Ends and the TCTs. I guess she passed someone illegally because normally when you lap the jammer, you would get 5. And that's a no pack call. They have to let Fractured Fairy Tale go. She is lead, calls off the jam just before the Bitter End can score any more points. Great defensive jam call by Fractured Fairy Tale. Smart, even though she just spent about a minute and a half getting knocked around in that pack, she did not lose her ability to know what was going on. She was paying attention. We have a timeout for, Arizona. That means we get to talk more about Fast Girl Skates, the first brick and mortar roller derby store ever in existence. They are in Seattle. They offer the best in derby clothing, skates, and gear. And if you can't go in and visit them in person, which I highly recommend. The store is great. The ladies are great. You can check them out at fastgirlskates.com. And of course, Fast Girl Skates also involved with the Fast Girl University. Carmen Getzum and Wiley Peyote and Eric Rock are training multiple leagues in multiple derby aspects, from strategy to plyometrics to basics. They're traveling wherever to train leagues all over the U.S. And this weekend, they're currently in Okinawa, Japan, having a clinic there. They're spreading the derby love.
You don't say.
I do. That's why I'm here to say.
That's amazing. That's something else I learned.
If I'm not mistaken, there was...
When we get a chance, there's something I learned last night that I'd like to tell you about. No, seriously,
Okay.
this was pretty major.
187, Camilla Bloodsvilla, out of the pack with no one touching her at all. And she will be lead jammer for Pikes Peak. And
Loco Lena for Tent City Terrors.
Camilla Bloodsvilla taking that corner on 1 foot. 1 foot. Picking up 5 points? I saw a grand slam. Yep, grand slam for Camilla Bloodsvilla.
55-77.
22-point game. All right. I mean, less than 15 minutes, but definitely enough time for them to take the lead. If they have one more 20-point power jam, they'll be right there. And it's possible. They have a pack advantage right now. It looks like Tent City Terrors with a little bit of penalty trouble. 3 blockers on the track for Pikes Peak and just 2 for Tent City.
Gratuitous Violet getting blocked in the front.
No one is lead. A full 2-minute jam for Russian Bride and Gratuitous Violet. It's all going to come down to the smarts in the pack. How long can you hold the other jammer from scoring points while simultaneously getting your jammer out? And, apparently Gratuitous Violet is actually lead. It's confusing when the jam ref initially tells you that you're not lead because you think you're not, and then you stop looking at them after that. Constantly check in with your jam ref, I guess, is the lesson. I should have probably been doing that too. Luckily, Gratuitous Violet was able to call off the jam just before Pikes Peak scored any points. So that was 0-0. And I think that's Camilla Bloodsvilla rubbing her palms together, ready for this jam to start.
Loco Lena for Tent City Terrors
3-3 in the pack. AZRD killing the clock effectively to grab their pivot out of the box. Smart move on their behalf. They're going to sit in the back of that pack like they like and hang on to Camilla Bloodspilla, or at least try to. A well-timed hit from Tent City Terror's pivot is going to give their jammer lead. At the same time, Camilla Bloodspilla going to the box for, I think, a major backflip. And that means this is a power jam for the Tent City Terrors. Howie Felterbottom looks very excited about that. He was confused by why she
did the smart thing and was non-committal.
Yeah.
In making a prediction of what that.
I don't really know what it was either. I'm just making stuff up. I don't really know anything about roller derby, actually. Wow, Localina through the pack. Grand slam. Picked up her fourth minor. I don't know when she picked up that fourth minor, but that is going to release Camilla Bloodspilla from the box.
It's that damn fourth minor. Every time it'll get you.
It will get you. You never want to send out a jammer with 3 penalties. Camilla Bloodspilla is a little bit confused by something happening on the track. I think maybe she thought she was on her scoring pass. At any rate, she now is going to be able to score some points. Hopefully, if her team can pick off one of the TCTs. And she did. She picked up 3, says her jam ref.
AZRD disputing how many points were scored.
The great thing about roller derby is that you can actually dispute points or ref calls, and I think that's what they're doing. They're having an official timeout to talk about, I think actually it's Pikes Peak that called that timeout. They're confused about why Camilla Bloodspilla did not score points on her initial pass, I'm guessing. I see a lot of twirling motions made by their captain while she's talking to the ref, so I'm assuming that's what she's talking about. But anyway.
Quantum physics.
Quantum physics. Dave, you said you live in Tucson, right?
Correct.
So you are not staying at the Hotel Arizona.
No.
Unless
there was
you live,
a few comebacks, but I said no.
Yeah, unless you live at the Hotel Arizona. I am enjoying my stay at the Hotel Arizona very much. Even though I'm sharing a room with Dump Truck, I'm enjoying it as much as I can. I just think their staff is really nice, and I think it was really nice of them to host all the girls here in this tournament. Just we can be kind of a pain in the butt, us derby girls, especially when you get a lot of us together. But they've been very patient, very kind, and they have great breakfasts. I really like their complimentary breakfast. So I would recommend that the next time you come out to Tucson for any derby-related or non-derby-related event, say at the Hotel Arizona. They're good people.
That was a very nice thing to say. I'm
They're,
going to go book a room now,
Yeah.
even though I don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not super fancy or anything. It's not like, a 5-star hotel, but it's perfect for
It's like
for us derby
300
girls.
feet from the venue, which is pretty great.
There's a funny little chicken dance happening out there between Fanny Pfister and it's the Battle of the Zeros. Fanny Pfister and Overeasy, number 000 and 00, respectively. Yeah, and there's the chicken dance song. Well, I'm glad everyone here is having a good time.
Yes.
I hope you guys at home are having an equally good time. Maybe you're doing the chicken dance too.
It's been a little bit of a lost weekend for some of us, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, a little bit.
Trapped inside a venue with fluorescent lighting and not seeing the
Not
sun.
enough sleep and just a very compressed schedule.
Tucson has worked really, really hard to bring this tournament to where it is. This venue, it's a far cry from the old Blade World.
Blade World, yes.
As great as that was, I think the Tucson Convention Center is a much more fitting venue for roller derby, especially a tournament of this size where we can have 2 tracks going on simultaneously. So congratulations, kudos to Tucson Roller Derby for hosting a really successful, fun